All right, good evening, guys. Welcome to our Business and Leadership Forum with Ucho Noche this evening. It's an awesome time for me to just be with you guys here today. It's always a delight. In fact, it's even an honor to just come before you and have people come every week to listen to you and ask questions and enjoy the things that we are putting out. It's quite refreshing. So I always like to thank you guys, those of you on Facebook, on Instagram, YouTube, and also on Zoom. Thank you guys for always coming out. Today is special. In fact, this June is special because it's a month of learning important lessons in life. This is the series. I started the series last Monday, and today this is the second edition of this. This is the second edition, or this is the second part of the series. Then we still also have two other ones after this. It's going to be 4 series concerning life issues, because I think that we need to learn things. There are many lessons I wish I learned while I was young enough to appreciate and to apply them. Many people wish they had someone, that would have given them advice or had a platform. Like someone like me, I wish I had a platform where I could go and listen to people talk. I didn't have that. I didn't have that. As a young man, wasn't even going to church that much. So I wasn't being fed in the things of life, So I made quite a lot of mistakes. But it's all good. I'm sure all of us will make mistakes. But the thing is, I just wish I had a platform. I just wish I had someone that could mentor, to counsel me. The thing about wisdom and often the lessons in general is that they are learned in retrospect, long after we needed them. So it's like these lessons that we learn in life, we don't need them again, only for us to pass it down to other people. But now the good news is that other people can benefit from our own experiences and the lessons that we have learned. It is life. Some things that have happened to you, you wonder, why me? But it's life. And life is a learning process, and things just keep on happening to us. So I want to bring out quite a lot. I put down quite a lot that I want to share. They are simple things. Some we know, some we don't know, some we know, but we don't know it in details. We don't know it in details, how it can help us, the benefits, and also how it can be detrimental to us. So I'm just trying to bring out the pros and the cons, the benefits, the advantages and disadvantages of certain things in our life, and that will help you. So this presentation is something that I want to be there, that people can always go back and just listen to it over and over again, and so they can be better prepared. I wish I was better prepared, but I wasn't. But now I just want to make someone better prepared, so they can go through life with less of issues. There's no way you can go through life without issues. There's absolutely no way. But what we can do is to reduce that, and so you can have more quality of life. You can enjoy life better. Okay, I stopped at I think number 9 last week, so I'm going to start from number 10 until we get to the end. In the fourth series, we'll get to the end. So I think the 10th point I want to bring here is that patience is a virtue. Patience is a virtue. Anytime I tell my kids that, I just laugh as well. I laugh because I know what it means. Because I also have adults, relatives, people close to me, even older than me, but they are not very patient people. See, if you lack that thing that is patience, it is going to have you'll be frustrated. You'll be frustrated early. You abandon things early because you are impatient. Listen to this definition of patience. Patience is the ability to wait for something significant to happen without feeling frustrated due to the delay. That is patience. People get upset. People get upset, irritated, annoyed, and they drop things that they shouldn't have dropped. They drop relationships they shouldn't have dropped because they're not patient and they can't wait, and they just can't wait to make it work. A young man said to me, what was the word he used? He said she should trust me. Talking about his new wife, that she should trust me, she should understand me. And I started laughing. I said, trust is accountability. For somebody to trust you, you have to make that person comfortable so they can trust you. It's not because somebody says I love you, or you love that person, automatically you want that person to trust you. I think it's too much burden to put on someone. Even if your own parents say they love you, but they are doing things that doesn't show that they love you, and you begin to wonder. I'm sure some of us growing up, especially in our teenage ages, will think that maybe our parents were not our parents. Why are they being so mean to us? Not also understanding that we're doing a lot of foolish things at that time. So people, the guy was like, no, she should trust me just because she sees me with a girl, gisting with a girl. But you are hugging that girl and you're holding and walking and feeling so comfortable in the midst of the opposite sex when your wife is within that same area. I mean, it doesn't make sense. You should give her respect. You say, but this is the kind of love they have. They talked about it. I say, no, it's not. You should respect your wife. People carry that boyfriend girlfriend mentality and want to bring it into the marriage. It doesn't work. There has to be respect, mutual respect and accountability. You've told this person that they should forsake all others and stay with you. So you must do things that will make them comfortable. You must be patient. Patience is one of the gifts, one of the tools that will help you in your marriage. Patience. You have to be patient with the other person and realize that even as you see the fault in them, you also have fault yourself. Patience comes with understanding your partner. You have to understand. I think the first 5 years of being together, you are learning that person. You continue to learn your spouse because you might know your spouse now, but in the next 10 years, people evolve. Your spouse would have evolved into somebody else. She would have evolved into somebody else. So really, it's we continue to learn and accommodate and move on. You have to be patient if you want to have a good marriage. Another thing is you have to be patient with kids. The reason why men don't stay with their own children is lack of patience. Children can irritate you, children can annoy you. Men can't stand that, so they don't stay at home. You see some men, when they start having 3-4 kids, they don't stay at home. Saturday they say there's work. Sunday after church there's one thing they need to do because they don't want to stay at home. They don't have that patience to begin to imbibe certain qualities characteristics you want in your child. A friend of mine told me, I said, why are you always leaving the house? He said that he needs to have this peace of mind. He can't, these children are irritating him. I said, look, you have to have that patience. He said, let the mother finish training them and bring them to me. I said, bring them to you. They're already grown. They're already adults. And they're already set in their ways to an extent. So you can't break them at that time. And at that time, you're not close to them. And they are not close to you. They are close to their mother. And you'll be complaining, why is it that it's just their mother that they are close to? You know, it's because you didn't make out time for them. My kids are all teenagers. My kids are all teenagers, and the ones that have grown. But I have 3 teenagers, and it's not easy to be in their life. I can also just walk away. But I know you have to keep telling them the same thing over and over and over. And you might say it for 2 years before they even understand what you're saying. You know, you just have to be patient. In marriage, you just also have to be patient with kids. Then now, the third point I want to bring out is you also have to be patient with wealth creation. There is no sudden, we are looking for sudden wealth. You know, as they say in our local parlance here, I don't hammer. I don't hammer. Or I don't blow. You just want to blow overnight. You know, it doesn't work that way. You know, when you go into wealth creation and you don't know how to handle money, that money will come and slip through your fingers. You see young men, instead of them to build businesses, they tell you that they are looking for deals, 200 million, 300 million, 500 million. And when they get that money, you see them begin to live a certain lifestyle. Instead of them to build houses, no, they will stay in hotels, have chains, have different kind of cars, and party all night, and in the club all night. And that is the essence. You want to have money so that you can show off and just have people every day, people laughing at you. I remember many years ago, I have a friend, and this friend started doing shady things. He comes from a respectable family, but he started doing shady things. And you know, one day I saw him, we were hanging out, and I said, what is all this quest for money? He has always wanted to have money, but in a legit way. But somewhere along the line, I don't know, he was not patient, couldn't wait. So I asked him, what is the fun going through all this? He said he knows it's not funny. But when he cracks jokes, everybody laugh. He said, and that is one of the benefits for him of being wealthy. People will just laugh. So is that an end in itself? It's that an end, or a means to an end, just to have this money so that you can talk and people laugh, even though you know you are not funny. You know, people can't wait to grow wealth. They just want to have wealth. And when you just want to have wealth like that, you know, some of the reasons for that, you just want to have wealth, is you have to compromise. You have to compromise to have that. You have to compromise to have that wealth. You know, and when you begin to compromise to have that wealth, you know what happens? What happens is that you might end up losing that wealth, or you won't have peace of mind. You know, so these are some of the things why. These are some of the reasons why. When you're not patient, you lose your peace. You lose your peace. In everything will tick you off. You lose your peace. You are not able to manage things properly, you know, because you're not a patient person. You know, I tell people that, look, you need a minimum of 10 years to roam to grow money, to create wealth. A minimum of 10 years to create wealth. And so you are giving yourself a chance to understand how to earn, how to save, how to invest, and how to live a certain lifestyle. So you need time to do all that, not just instantly you want to change. So patience is a virtue. The patient people are always the ones that come out on top. If you are patient in your business, that business, even if it goes down, you see, some business, life is like this. Goes up, comes down. Your business can be doing so well, it will nosedive, and guess what? Only the people that stay the course, that are ready to remain there and keep doing what needs to be done, that will see their business come up. Those that are patient and willing to work things out in their relationship are those that will have long-lasting marriage. The same thing, those that create time for their children are those that are going to have successful children in the future. There's no shortcut to these things, my brothers and sisters. There's no shortcut. Okay, so patience is a virtue, is one of the important life lessons. Okay, let me move to another point. Another important life lesson is that your comfort zone is your enemy. Your comfort zone is your enemy. Please, if you want to achieve your biggest goals in life, you need to get out of your comfort zone. Today I speak to people all over the world. Today I'm a speaker, facilitator, trainer, motivator, inspirator, or you name it. I speak to people, I inspire people to become their best. I coach people, I counsel people, I mentor people to become the best version of themselves. But I didn't start out like this. People that know me didn't know me as a serious introvert. No, I was a serious introvert. It's only people, like when I was in secondary school, I was close to people that we went to primary school together. Those were the people I hung out with. I was an introvert. Didn't talk much. I talk when my real friends are there. But if they're not there, I'm just like more or less like quiet. I told some of my friends that I see leadership. Sometimes I see myself talking to a large crowd, being a leader. One person fell. I laughed and fell from double bunk in the hostel in secondary school. And they couldn't believe it. They couldn't see it. But I knew that I was going to speak because I keep seeing visions of myself not sleeping. As a young boy, 7, 8, 9, I had a lot of visions about speaking to people, being a leader, doing quite a lot of things. Some of them I've already started doing right now. But I was seeing it there. But I couldn't talk. How could I talk? I hardly talk. I only talk at home and talk to certain people. Then I also had the issue of being shy. So to break away from that mode of being an introvert, being shy, and now speaking, having to do the things that I do. I'm still quite of a reserved person, but now I can be both an introvert and extrovert at the same time to be able to do what I want to do. I play with both legs depending on where I am at any particular point in time. I play with both legs. That's what I say. I can be any of those things that I need to be. Okay, so it is struggle for me to begin to speak. It was a struggle for me to begin to speak. I forget my lines. Sometimes I look at the paper is white, I can't see anything that I've written down. It was a challenge, but I kept at it. I kept learning, I kept going back, I kept doing it, I kept, I told that I was in church one day, and I told the pastor in charge of prayer, I said, give me an opportunity for me to pray. And she looked at me and was like, pray. You struggle a bit because I'll pray at home. When they say pray in public, it was an issue. And so I told her, I said, look, give me, and she gave it to me. Today, you will not believe the kind of people that I speak with, and you say, oh, please say a word of prayer for me. You will not, you have no idea. And those prayers are working. You have no idea. Even sometimes when I look at it, I just begin to laugh. I say, wow, God, just because I did not give up. I did not give up. And I knew that if I had to speak, I need to read. For the past 22 years, I read as if I have my PhD thesis every single day. I have books here that I need to read all the time, because now you speak. People will see me speak and they will like, oh, where did you get all these things from? If there's no reservoir, you can't pull anything out. There must be a reservoir of knowledge for you to be able to pull out wisdom and knowledge. All that you have, you know and you've read are condensed, and also with the gift and the help of the Holy Spirit, it prepares you to be able to groom other people. You must get out of your comfort zone. That's what I'm saying. Whatever you see on the inside that you want to be, but on the outside you don't see it being possible, I've come to tell you it is possible. I did it. I did it. I said I will bring one of my old schoolmates in secondary school and have a panel discussion, and so that when I say these things, people can be able to, someone can confirm, affirm the things I'm saying, and even give you their own perspective of how how I was. So you realize when I say you can change yourself, you really can change to become a better version of you. Achieving significant things will require you to be uncomfortable. Big goals in life you need to be. I know this, what I do, I have a group of companies. My company is Madison Energy Group, and I've always wanted to be an entrepreneur. That's all I wanted. And when I was working, I was saying, oh, the time will come, I was going to break away and also start my own business and businesses. I already know the names of the company, and I started. But you see, today, what I do is grooming, coaching, counseling. It's a business now. This was a calling. This was a calling. This was a passion. What was talking in my heart to do. This is me. This is what I was created to be. But this that I'm doing, it takes a long time. It can take like 15, 20 years before your gift and your talent begin to bring financial reward to you. At least in mine, some people it takes time. It's just like if you are an artist, a songwriter, whatever. That success doesn't come overnight. When you see someone successful, they've started singing for a long time. They started preparing themselves until that day of reckoning comes for them. The day that the Lord has prepared for them to turn them around, to just bless and just smile upon them. And it looks as if when you become successful, that is the day you just tried it out, you became successful on that day. No, it's been a while. You were coming from somewhere. And that coming from somewhere is that tenacity, showing that zeal, that I don't want to be where I used to be. I have somewhere I want to be, because that thing is in my mind. You see, you cannot be successful without the image of that success in your mind. You cannot go anywhere. You cannot go higher if there's no vision of that thing in your mind. You hardly will collide with great success without having an image of it within you. How does that work? Oh, can you just stumble and become the world's most sought after thought leader and speaker? No, it takes a certain kind of lifestyle. It takes a certain kind of thing, yeah, lifestyle for you to be able to achieve that. I know the things that I need to do for me to be able to do this that I'm doing, and also be able to do business, a little bit of business by the side. I know what it takes. So, and it means you need to step out of your comfort zone. You need to leave and say, look, I can achieve this. You need to be uncomfortable first to become comfortable later. Okay, so it's just like you are poor or you are in lack. You must be able to do certain things. When somebody tell me how to become rich, I'm just earning 20,000, I'm just earning 50,000 naira a month. I make 50,000 naira. And I tell them start saving, and I give them a savings formula. They say, how much is in this thing that I'm going to be saving? How much will I put aside? And how will I even know when to invest? You see, they've used their own mouth to seal their destiny. Because if you say how can it be? Definitely what you are saying is it can't be, and it won't be for you. But if you say, okay, let's do it, I understand what you're trying to say, let's do it, let's go for it, then you will go for it and you will get it. So watch what you say. Whatever you say can become your reality. So you must be able to say, I am tired of this kind of life. I want this kind of life. I want this kind of life. Get out of your comfort zone. Look, if you want a high-paying job, stop complaining. You know, we complain a lot. We complain a lot. I've been writing application letters. Nobody is employing me. I'm not getting good job. I'm just stuck here. You know, and I tell people that come to tell me that kind of thing. There's a strategy. There's a way. There's a way to get those kind of jobs you want. I called a young man, I said, why are you throwing all this tantrum? Why are you throwing all these tantrums? I said, where is your CV? First of all, his CV wasn't there with him. I said, why won't your CV be on your phone? What if you have to, now most of the applications are online, you go to a portal, you put all those things, so you must have all your details on your phone. So he didn't even have, so I told him, are you sure you are prepared for this job thing? Okay, so, and when he finally sent me a CV, I said, look, they don't write CVs like this. He said, how? I said, you see, the problem. Go to Google or go to YouTube and learn how to write a CV in a 21st century, a CV in 2022. Go and find out how they write CV. Go and find out what employers are looking for. That's where to start. Then you begin to look at, oh, this is what they are looking for. Am I qualified? Do I have this qualification? Do I have this qualification? Or do I need to enhance myself in this? Do I need to do this? Do I need to? People succeeding is because they are doing some things right. Why don't you learn that thing instead of continuing to say that it's the government, it's the APC government, it is this, it is that. Yeah, I know that there are issues we have in this country, but at the same time, there are still people that are making it. Those jobs, even though they are few, they become fewer every year, but they still employ. So how come they still employ those people? How come? Perhaps you should find out what those people have. For you to be employed now, you must constantly enhance yourself, improve yourself to get to a particular level that they are looking for. Because in the corporate world, they are looking for value. And if you don't have that value, and as they question you and see your CV, they can see that you don't have that value. Even if you have that value, but you don't have the kind of character, you don't have the kind of confidence they're looking for, they won't take you. So now, why don't you try and go to YouTube and hear what people are saying about job recruitment. I bet you where the doors have been shut before, it will be open. You just need to get out of the comfort zone. If you want to be rich, then you have to live the lifestyle of the rich. But are you willing? Are you willing to exchange spending with saving? Some people, once they have money, they want to spend. Are you willing to save more? Then you know it's not just about savings. You also need to know what to do with the money that you have saved. And that's how to invest. You need to understand. You can teach yourself practically everything. What you don't know right now is as a result of not putting on enough time to learn that thing. The things you know is because you decided to put in time to learn those things. That's why you know it. That's just the difference. It's not because you know this, you don't know this. When you decide that you want to do something, you will also know how to make it work. So you must abandon your comfort zone, I tell you. If it's one of the major big life lessons that you need to learn. Okay, now I want to talk about being the early bird. Do things early. Don't keep things late. People who adapt to something early or arrive first usually have an edge over latecomers. Do your calculation, your permutation, and move fast. Even in business, companies that survive and continue to survive are companies that lead. The leaders in the marketplace are people that can adapt quickly and implement and execute. While some people are still sitting on the fence trying to find out, they've gone far. If you can adapt, fine. You know, during COVID-19, 2020, the people that could adapt to what was happening to them were the people that were able to survive through that period. People were calling me, what do I do? What do I do? You know, and I keep asking them, what do you have? Because during COVID-19, there were essential services. You know, and I told some people, I said, look, if you have a car, then you can transport goods. You can transport things from one place to the other. Protect yourself. You don't even have to go into people's homes. You drop it in front or at their door or whatever. And people were not buying fast foods. Fast foods won't even allow you to come in, but you can come and pick up and go and drop off. But because there was always some things to do, and people didn't want to enter public transport except maybe they're just taking the whole car to themselves, and so there were opportunities, they had opportunities. During that COVID-19, that lockdown, people wanted to learn something. So a lot of virtual learning was going on, and people were getting it. People were learning, and people were teaching. It was an avenue for people to earn in that way. Because we don't need to see for us to be able to be together. Companies were able to bring down their overhead because people were not going to work, so they removed the transport and reduced salaries so that you can survive. But Zoom now and also other communication devices were what people were using to talk and communicate. And we realize that work will still go on. You know, what I'm saying, if you are early, adapt early. Don't waste too much time talking, dilly-dallying. Take a stand and move early. Those that move early, they get farther before latecomers. Example, I don't know where they call this Nigerian time or African time, but people like to arrive late. But see, to an event, people that arrive early and there are no seat reservations, so they have very few seat reservations. If you come early, it means that you can position yourself to meet very important people. If you know where VIP, if I want to meet people, I will just go early and ask the ushers where are the VIPs staying, and you sit at the table closest to them, so that in the course of the event you can just walk up to whoever you want to talk, introduce yourself and say whatever you want, just by going early. But if you come late, you'll be at the back, and they have aides, and most of the time these VIPs don't stay to the end. They can just leave with they have their own exit door, so they can just leave. You wouldn't know. But if you're close enough, you can do something about that. If you learn your lessons in finance, if you learn your lesson in business and all that, it'll be easy for you. It'll be easy for you to move ahead. You know, if I have a teaching, it's called Adapt or Die. If you want to survive in business and in life, you must be very fast. You must be able to do some certain things. You must be able to do some certain things and do them early, and so that you can be ahead of competition. Early birds go far before competition will come. Before competition comes, you already have gone far. You've already have gotten quite a large chunk of the market share before they come and start struggling with what is left over. So be an early bird. Don't say let's watch and see. When you watch too much, it can become detrimental to you. Make your plans. Life is a risk. You win some, you lose some. But if you know the ways, just find out the strategy how to arrive at decisions early. If you can arrive at decisions early, then move. You don't have to wait and keep watching. You keep watching, become a latecomer. By the time you come, there are already people leading in whatever that is. So we need to make a move and make a move fast. All right. Another point I want to bring out is that starting is the only way to make progress. Starting is the only way to make progress. I don't know what they told you, but if there is never a good time for anything to happen, there's never a good time to make money. There's never a good time to make to get married. There's never a good time to start having kids. There's never a good time to enjoy yourself. There's just never a good time to read a book. It's when you start to start. When you're looking for the wind to be favorable before you set sail, you know that you still remain in the harbor. You still remain in the harbor. Because you want to remain on all the signs. I don't see in anything in life that all the signs will say go before you start. No. The people that succeed in life are the people that decided to move even when they didn't see clearly. Life is a risk, you know. And I know a young man that is just dating, looking, and say, this one is this one. For the past 5 years, he's always having seen one thing. Oh, this is this lady is this one is that. I said, you are going to keep doing this thing until you're 50 years old. Who is perfect? Why don't you just decide and just say, okay, then we take a risk. Life generally is a risk. We take risks, and sometimes those risks, most times those even risks, they work out in our own favor. Okay, so starting is one of the life lessons that is worth starting this year, is worth doing this year, or doing right now. Right now, you need to take action. No progress happens without you taking action. So stop complaining, and there is a strategy is a method to everything. And you don't need to know all the strategy and method. You just need to know enough for you to start. And as you start and as you're doing it and growing in it, you are getting more lessons, getting more and more and more out of it. Progress automatically begins when you start. Don't be deceived. Progress starts when you start. Progress begins when you start. Getting 1% better each day is better than not getting anything started at all. If you want to be 100% and you take 1% every day, in the next 100 days you would have gotten 100%. Than waiting, I'm just waiting, and when this comes I will hit it, I will just have 90%, instead of, no. Go after what you want. You know the life that you want. Go after it. And I always tell people, the blessing is on the go. You receive the next wisdom, instruction, knowledge for the next level when you move. Some people want to get the strategy, the wisdom for level 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 before they move. But when you move, as you move, you get the wisdom and strategy for lesson 1. When you're done, you get the next for lesson 2, and like that. That is how it works. The blessing, the instructions, everything is on the go. The nudging, sometimes the Lord nudges you towards a certain direction. So all that nudging and all those things is pushing you and giving you strategy for the next level. So you need to make a move. You need to make a move. Okay, another point I want to bring out here, live, I keep saying it, live in the present moment. People are not happy because they're not living in the present. People are struggling. People are struggling because they're not living in the present. A huge part of depression revolves around living in the past. Most people that are depressed are living in the past. I mean, experts in psychology said this, not even me. Because see how it works. The past will always bring about your past failures. And because he loves you, which is this past is written somewhere, is ingrained somewhere, is printed somewhere. And that place is called your subconscious mind, not your conscious mind. Your conscious mind is what you're using to listen to me and look at me right now. But your subconscious mind works whether you are asleep, whether you are awake. That's why sometimes you can just wake up with an idea, because your subconscious mind is working. It's working even while you sleep. Now the conscious mind is like the captain of a ship that can see and can navigate. But the subconscious mind is like the chief engineer, is down below and he doesn't see, he just takes instruction. So what the conscious mind says and transmits down to the subconscious mind, the subconscious mind is the engineer that navigates and makes sure the ship goes according to where the captain says they need to go. So he makes it work. So we need to be careful what we think, say, or do in our conscious state. Because even when you make a mistake in your conscious state, your subconscious doesn't know what is wrong, what is right. It takes everything you feed it as true. The reason why you watch a horror movie, it's like you see people are scared. It's the same reason. The subconscious mind will keep bringing it up to you because it tells you that this thing is real. Some of us are afraid because we watched a movie and we are afraid that that thing that happened in the movie is going to happen to us. How did you even remember? It's because it's there in your subconscious mind. So this subconscious mind is what happens the past. So if you continue to feed it with negative stuff, you know what will happen? It will continue to bring these things to you. I always use this example. I have a friend that was robbed and attacked between 7 and 8 p.m. in the night. That was when he was a young man, just started working. This should be over 20 years. But anytime he's 7, he doesn't go out after 6 o'clock. He always makes sure he's very close. He lives very close to where he works. And he can't even leave his house to go to the mall just down the street. He can't for many years. Until we had to keep talking to him and to keep talking to him, until, that's another talk for another day. Because anytime you get to 7, 8, what happens? The subconscious mind brings about what happened to him in the past. And that cripples him. It just cripples him. So it was affecting his quality of life. He had no night life, no social life. So I tell him, what if there's 100 million out there and you need to go get it by 9 p.m.? Is it that you won't go? He couldn't answer me. I said, well, if that kind of thing happens, call me to come and go and get it for you. And I'm sure you will not get that money. This is what the past is. I tell people that I decided one day to divorce my past, or tear contract paper with my past, as we used to say it, because my past was not helping me. In the big to look, my past is like family. Sometimes family can be your biggest disadvantage. When you want to do something, they are your biggest deterrent. They don't want you to fall into pain or anything. They love you and they just want you to remain where you are. They just love you to remain where you are. Many years ago, a lady, they said, let them go. A friend told her friend, 2 ladies, let's go and pray for her husband. She said she doesn't want to pray for her husband, that she knows her husband, once her husband becomes successful, that he will leave her. Because she has had one nasty, she dated the guy before he met the husband, and that one became rich and left, ran away with somebody. She doesn't want her husband's progress, because she wants him to remain at a certain level so that she can have him. What kind of prayer is that? When you look at her, you'll be able to, some people will abuse, insult her, and even call her a witch. But if you don't understand how this subconscious mind works, if you will be under the influence of your subconscious mind. The only way to change it, we don't have the willpower. We are acting based on the things that are ingrained in our subconscious mind. That's why they are subconscious. We just do it, thinking that it is what is happening in the now. It's not what is happening in the now. It's what has already been programmed. So your lifestyle, your desires, your taste buds, and all those things already programmed there. So you are just prone to it. If you want to change your life, change the things that you feed your subconscious mind, and you begin to react positively. That was how we were able to help that woman, because it was what happened to her. Sometimes how the easiest way to transfer things, thoughts, feelings, emotions from the conscious mind to the subconscious mind is through strong emotions of pain. Anything to do with pain goes straight to your subconscious mind. Pain, great pain, anguish. You lose somebody, you lose your job, those times that you're crying, or those times you're angry, you are just automatic transfer of these emotions to your subconscious mind. So what you don't know is that after all that, those things will begin to affect and influence the way you live your life. And this is what happens when you allow your past to rule over you. Anything that wants to happen, you will be thinking about the past. Oh, the past is this. Oh, the past is that. And this is what happened. You wouldn't know, because it's a mind thing. Except someone that is, the thing about mind is, when you understand something, it's like light comes into you and you become conscious of it. What you are not conscious of, you are in darkness. You will not be able to know. And to those of you that are listening to me now, if you don't know about this, you won't know that you have been acting in a certain way that you unconsciously programmed yourself. So it's not a witch, it's not voodoo, wizardry, it's not all those things that you call. It's not. It is the way you have programmed yourself, and that is what is working out negatively for you. So you need to that's why I say I divorce my past, because it always brings things in order to help me with bringing things that are making me cripple me and make me afraid. The fear of how will I put it? The feeling of fear, or the emotions that you go through, the torment. The torment of fear is worse than that event. Being afraid of an event, you realize that when something you're afraid of happens to you, it's not as bad as you are thought about it. As it happened to you, you are afraid of certain things, and that thing happens and you are like, hey, it's not that bad. You are afraid to go to some certain places. Then when you get there, you now realize that I remember what comes to mind was a guy didn't want to, we keep inviting him to come to a gathering. He didn't want to go because he said he doesn't have the right kind of clothes. We just say he should come. And when he got there, the first thing was like, but people are simple just like me. That he even saw some people that he was better dressed than. So as we were talking, we realized that there was an event that he went to. He had to bounce himself. He had to run out of there because he was not dressing well. He didn't dress well. And that has just stuck somewhere in his subconscious mind. And he now made him shy of going to some certain places. This is what the past can do for you. Then let's talk about future. Because the future is also a problem. Anxiety is caused by spending a lot of time worrying about the future. And I talked about midlife crisis in one of my Wednesday mentoring. Midlife crisis is what? It's when you begin to weigh your accomplishments with your age. Most times you come that is a symptom of midlife crisis, because you have a projected future, and what you see now is not what you expect. But I always ask people, what you see now is as a result of what you have sown. What you sow is what you reap. The future you want, you start to do it now. What I want to give to you this evening is the gift of now. Accept where you are. This is where I am, what I have. This is where I want to go. Fine, that's all you need to know. Then you begin to do now, because now is all you have. The things that you need to do to get you to where you want to be. I no longer think about the future. I know where I want to be in my old age. I know what I want. I know what I want for my kids. I know those things, but I no longer dwell on it. Because when you start dwelling on it and you start saying, look at me, I'm not even what happens to you is that you become depressed, anxiety, you'll be having palpitation because you look at me, I'm almost 50 and I don't have a house, I don't have this, I don't have that. Midlife crisis are setting. That's why I say concentrate on the now. Because for you to be successful in the future, you have to start taking care of now, building now. If you want to live in a castle, you start laying blocks for it now. It's not in the future the castle is just going to appear from nowhere. You start building now. And you see who gave you tomorrow, who promised you tomorrow, who promised you the future. Tomorrow is the future. Today is Monday. Tuesday is the future. And when we get to Tuesday, Tuesday is now. Tuesday becomes now. Okay, let's even say next week Monday is the future. So in 7 days time, we are there. We are there, and that's the future. In a year's time, we say, okay, in 1 year's time, we'll soon get there. We just said Happy New Year. Now we'll soon be saying Merry Christmas. Then we are in that future, and that future is now. So the future is just an illusion, it's a mirage. And if you keep looking towards it, you'll be depressed. You'll be depressed, and it will keep you in one place. It will keep you dealing with negativity that will stifle and keep your destiny in one place. So my gift to you this evening is live in the now. Okay, another point I want to bring is be nice to people. Being nice to people pays. We're all different and unique, let me tell you. Nobody is better or smarter than the other. We are all different. Try not to be too bossy, because you are the boss now. Tomorrow, you are the boss now, but you have someone too that is your boss. Be nice to people, especially when you're climbing the ladder. When you're climbing the ladder, be nice to people, because you don't know, life is up and down, goes up and down. And so sometimes we need to come down from that ladder. And so the people you've stepped on their toes and on their head to get to where you want, what do you think they will be doing? They will remove the ladder and you're going to fall. Many years ago, a friend of mine gave me his own side of the story why he stopped being nasty to people. He had a cousin that became a commissioner in a state. He was in the university, I think his first year in university. He had a cousin that became a commissioner in a state to a governor. And so when he gets to the guy's office, he just walks through, outside. For those of us that understand Nigerian ministries, there's a big hall, and he has like 20 secretaries, PAs, all of them are out there. So you have to move from one place to the other. But because he's the commissioner's brother, he doesn't even talk to anybody. He doesn't even greet them. These are people that could be his, they are the age of his parents. He just walks in. Life has a way of teaching us lessons. So one day, he came to collect money for his exams. He needed to pay some things for his exams. And so the cousin was like, I might not be in the office, go, and there's somebody that is going to give you the money. So he came, and obviously, no, he didn't know that the cousin was not going to be there. So he came as usual, and he just walked straight and walked into the office, and the cousin was not there. He knocked in the restroom, the cousin was not there. He came out. As he came out from the room, everybody put their face down on their table. You don't greet them now, and you don't greet them. So all of them too, at that point in time, was your own time of need. All of them put their face. He said he was embarrassed. He was too ashamed to ask anybody. And unfortunately for him, the person that the cousin said to give him the money when he came just stepped out. He just stepped out. And so he was not on seat. If the guy was on seat, we would have given him, but the guy wasn't on seat. But the people around didn't tell him that he just stepped out to the restroom, maybe he will soon be back. Everybody put their head down. So he stood there for a while and walked the walk of shame out of that place. He almost missed that exam, because luckily the cousin now sent that same guy to his school and he got the money just in the nick of time. If that guy didn't get to his cousin, or the cousin didn't call, have you given him his money? And he said, no, it's okay, go to school, go and look for him there. If not, he probably would have had to receipt that thing and maybe spend one more year in the university. It was just stroke of luck. He was just lucky. He would have repeated. He was doing a 5-year course, so you could have seen that the pressure he will have on his parents and everybody to have to do 6 years, as if 5 years is not long enough. You now do 6 years and putting your family under pressure just because of not being nice to people. And when the time comes for them not to be nice to you, they will just be watching you. You see, one day you will need that kindness from other people, and you will get what you give. If you're always nasty, a day will come, you will get what you give. It doesn't take anything to just say hello to a gatesman, a janitor, whatever, a lift operator. Just be nice. Hey, nobody's saying you need to be their friends, but just be nice to them and give tips. We here in Africa, those people appreciate those tips, because sometimes they don't get to be paid on a monthly basis. They can owe them 6 months, 7 months salary. You give tips. Just be nice. Most of the time, that kindness comes back to bless you. If you are nasty, that kindness, that nastiness, that attitude also comes back to haunt you and to harm you. All right. Another lesson I've learned is we all need to set boundaries. One of the best lessons in life you need to learn is setting boundaries, especially if you're around toxic people. There are people that are toxic, the people that are nasty. And these people can be your family members, co-workers, your boss, whatever. You need to set boundaries, because it can lead to arguments, it can lead to fights, and these things can increase your blood pressure. They can increase your blood pressure and even cause you to begin to have negative outlook towards life. Set healthy boundaries and stick to them. They pay. There's some people that no matter what, if you see the kind of lifestyle, set a boundary. Set a boundary. If you have colleagues that are nasty, that are toxic, if they want when you are in the office, be cordial. You don't need to now begin to have a relationship with them outside the office, because it's going to backfire one day. If you have family members that are toxic, you have to be careful. Set boundaries. There are people that have told me my vision and my goal cannot work, it's too big, and I am living in la la land. If you can't encourage me, if you can't encourage me, you don't want to encourage, then leave me. If I tell you about something I'm doing and you don't want it, I won't repeat it to you again. Or you don't like it, I won't repeat it, because I don't have time to be sharing. I want people that share. I share a lot about dreams and visions. I'm excited about testimonies, and I'm excited about autobiographies that where you can read that how people became successful. Those are the things I feed myself with on a daily basis. Those type of things. So I don't want to feed myself with things that negative things that after a while you might begin to think about those things and say maybe that person was making sense. Toxic relationships, you have to set boundaries. If you can't walk away, you have to set boundaries and protect yourself. There's ways that you can live with someone. I can live with someone for 10 years or 5 years. We don't quarrel. If I see that you're that kind of person, I will try as much as possible. We will just be on a cordial level. We'll try as much. The altercation will be very few because I know the kind of person that you are. So I set boundaries. I have a friend that talks too much. He can talk non-stop. He will promise you heaven and earth. So he has promised and he has failed many times. So when you have that kind of person comes and around you and he's talking, when he makes those promises, don't fall for any one of them. You know, and there are people that instead of you getting upset and say, well, why is he playing me? Why is he doing that? Don't fall for things like that. There are people that are abusive. Don't go and share anything with someone when you see that somebody will take what you said to them and take it out and use it against you. That's enough for you to know that you can't trust that person with certain information. And when you see someone angry and you see the way they lash out, then you should be mindful of that kind of person and not say, let us try. You should make sure. In fact, for me, having friends is in stages and in phases. You open up to them gradually until you're comfortable with them and you know the kind of person or persons that they are. So set boundaries in life. If it's work, it is work. You know, some certain people don't understand boundaries, and ladies understand it more than guys. We are colleagues, we laugh, we play, but there's a level of hug and putting your hands on my shoulder and all that. There has to be boundary. If you don't like it, you set that boundary on time. Because some people can go overboard, you know, and begin to be suggestive in the things that they say or do, and you don't want to have that kind of relationship with them. You need to set boundaries. And also, you don't lead somebody on. Don't do things that will lead someone on, and don't allow people to also lead you on. I mean, it's set those boundaries with colleagues, with friends, with whoever. If they try to no, not this, you just tell them you don't want them to go more than this. They will get it. Nobody wants to be embarrassed. They will get it, and so that you can have your peace and have your time. Don't let people encroach into your time, into your space. You know, when you're ready for friends, fine. For me, when the phone rings, there are certain hours of the day I won't pick the phone because it's a distraction. I won't even go near the phone because there's a distraction. You know, there are times that this phone, that's why they put missed call so you can call them back. Don't mess around with serious work, with social. You don't bring in social life in everything. There's time for social life. There's time for serious work life. You know, don't mix both of them. Set boundaries. When it's time to play hard, work hard. You know, set your boundaries with people so they don't cross it, and they also know that these are your core values. These are the things that you believe in, and so somebody don't come and say things that you don't like around. So if they say something about you, your faith, or what you take as important, then you have to caution them. For somebody to be your friend, they have to respect what you respect. If you can't respect what I respect, then you can't be my friend. Simple as that. So set boundaries and people will respond. When there are no boundaries, that's where people do whatever they like. But when you set boundaries, like a fence, like a walled house, people will take permission before they come in. But if it's open, then people will do as they like. Okay, lastly for today, I want to talk about work-life balance. It's very key. Most people around the world, most people have this poor work-life balance. They spend most of their time working hard to increase their income, promotion, or they're afraid of losing their job. So they spend so much time at work and they start neglecting the home front, people that are important in their life. You need to take care of yourself, your family, your work. There has to be. Here we also ask for boundaries. You see this thing called work, it doesn't end. It has no end. If you die as an MD, they will get another MD. You must make out time for yourself, for your family, for your kids. I have 3 kids, 3 boys that are teenagers. They need direction. They need to be talked to. They need to understand, because for me, parenting, especially for teenagers, teenage is where they are making a transition from being boys to men. It's about that transition. So if you are not there when they make that transition, you're not able to guide them, they will make poor choices. So you need to be, as a father, you need to be there. Sometimes if I can't get home on time, I'll tell them, pick up my son and bring him to the office. My last son now, if I can't be at home early, I'll tell them, bring him, we'll go together, we'll go home together. Just that one day can kill you, so that you can continue to impact and talk to them. I talk to them like adults, we discuss. And if I was not doing it, I won't be able to understand certain things about teenage life. Those children know some things that are weird. In the nick of a time, I think this was like 5 years ago, or 6 or 7, no, maybe 6 or 7 years ago. I was talking to my sons and I was telling them about sexual preferences. I was telling them about sexual behavior, and we got to the point of homosexuality. We got to the point, talk about lesbians and talk about certain lifestyle. And I was surprised. One of my sons just said to me, if you want to be with a boy, you be with a boy. You want to be with a girl, be with a girl. Is that not how it is? Everything inside of me wanted to scream, But I didn't do that because I know if I scream, he won't talk to me again. So what did I do? I guided him based on my own worldview, based on my experience, that this is it. And so today I heard him, now these days I hear him talking to his younger brother and they are discussing it. It's because I've set a certain kind of, I've brought understanding and light to dark areas in their life. We talk about alcohol, we talk about sex, I tell them, girls get pregnant. Let them understand that they need to hear those things from you. So you set the foundation for them. Even if they make mistake in the future, they know that it was a mistake they made, but not that they did not know what to do. Because for me as a father, and I tell them, is that you will hear the truth from me and you will not hear it from outside. So you will not say they didn't tell you at home. You decided all by yourself to walk in this certain way. Because my greatest investment is my children. My greatest investments are my children. So what is the use of being highly successful and your kids are running around? When you come back home, you are sad. When you are outside in the office, you are highly recognized. You get all the accolade. When you come back home, you are sad. Because your children, they are your fruits. And by their fruits, we know them. So if your children don't turn out well, it's because you were not feeding them with the right, what do they call, fertilizer that will make them grow in a certain way. You fertilize their mind with things, the things that can make them stand and be in their life. Even those that are out of the house, you call them regularly, that touch must be there. Visit them. And the same thing applies to your spouse. There has to be a time. There has to be time. For me, in the mornings, between 6 to 8 to 9, between 6 to 8, when we are preparing to leave the house, it's husband and wife time. We catch up on things. I don't pick calls. I don't do anything about that at that time because it's a time. And when we come back home and during that dinner to a few from the dinner time to maybe maybe like 2 hours after we come back, we need to have that husband and wife time again to catch up on things that have happened. Not that you will not pick calls, but it will be emergency calls. There has to be some ground rules of where you will listen to your partner and you will listen to your spouse within that time, and you people are sharing important information, because if not, when you carry your phone, you can get lost in your phone and you don't know that there's a partner there. You know, there are some people when they are with their partners, they are talking to their partners, both of them are on the phone, but they are talking to themselves. You know, how does that work? You know, how does that work? They will tell you, say, phone now, I'm hearing you, but they're not giving you full attention. In marriage, you need to have time that you give full attention. And the same thing has to happen with your staff. If you are an entrepreneur, a business person, you also need to make out time to listen to your staff. They might have 1 or 2 suggestions that can turn around your business. Listen to people. Strike a balance. It's not about work. If you are successful and you have a failed marriage, yes, it happens. But there's a certain aspect of your life that will remain and appear to be a failure. People that are divorced now, a few of them I know, one actually told me it's like solitary confinement. That for the first 3-4 years, he was always thinking, what should I have done here? Oh, simple sorry would have still kept me in this marriage. Oh, if I had done this, maybe we would not. And it goes through his mind every single day that we shouldn't even have been divorced. This is where the problem started. This is what we didn't do. And you don't need to go through that. You don't need to go through all that if you can make out time. You know, if you don't make out time for your spouse, that's where some of the problems begin to come. And they begin to have other ways of taking care of that need. And it could lead to infidelity. So we should try as much as possible to make sure we balance life and what people don't think is important. Men just say, let me make the money, we will have a vacation of 1 week, 2 weeks. It doesn't fix it. At times you guys have now become you can be separated internally and still be together. You can be in a marriage and still be lonely. So you need to do things that will bring you guys together. And it's not when you have made it big. You can become successful, come back home, no wife, no kids, they've gone. How will you enjoy that money at the end of the day? What kind of success? I believe that jubilation, happiness, joy that comes from success is celebrating with family. And when there's no family to celebrate it, what is it? What is the use? What is the use? All right, guys, I will end here today, but for the next 2 weeks, I'm talking about life lessons. There are quite a lot that I need to speak to you about for the next 2 more weeks, making a total of 4 weeks of having this series of life lessons. We need to learn these lessons. We need to know of these lessons even as we move forward. So I want to thank you guys for tuning in today. But before you go, let me just give you some information. This is our Business and Leadership Forum for business people, leaders. Marketplace Apostle is the parent organization that pushes out those things. And we have 5 core areas: business, career, leadership, personal finance, relationships, corporate and personal, and life issues. Obviously, I'm also a life coach. So these are our core areas where we deal with every week. Every week I have a seminar, a webinar like this. Every Wednesday I have my counseling corner where I counsel people, same 5 p.m. West African time, 5 p.m. Nigerian and West African time. Every Monday webinar, Wednesday I have my coaching session. So the coaching session is just simple. Just write a question in any of these areas on my DM, any of my DMs, which one of them Marketplace Apostle Making Nigeria. I'll pick it up from there and I'll answer for that 1 hour. So most people don't put their full names, they just put their abbreviation of their names, or they can just say Uche O and they'll just ask that question. I come for 1 hour and answer it. Okay. People also say, can I have a one-on-one with you? Can I have more time? Yes, you can have more time. We can arrange for one-on-one meeting because I have a coaching outfit then. Also, this is what I do on Wednesday is just to try as much as possible how I can help people that are going through stuff. So when you speak, when you ask me those questions, I come back and I answer them. If you want more, you can reach out to me. We can make it work. Now I have an important message that I want to send out to you. It's about the Make in Nigeria 2022. Make in Nigeria is live this year. It's on site. It's on site this year. It's a physical meeting, and it will be holding from the 20th to the 21st of October. That's in like 4 months' time. Please just put it in your calendar, 20th to 25th of October. This year, 20th to 25th of October. So right now, I want to invite you to make it a date. There's so many things that will be happening: conference, exhibition, master classes, raffle draw. We have grants that are being given out, and it's a powerful networking platform, a networking place where you can meet business people, government people, general public, exhibitors, people buying and selling, all manner will be there. We record thousands, 12,000, 8,000, 10,000, that come through that place. It's 6 days. So there's enough time for you to learn and to sell, and to network. Okay, and also stand the chance of winning grants to aid your business. So a lot is happening. You can be part of that. So I want to specially invite you, make it a date, 20th to 25th. All right, I will end here now. The series continues next Monday. I look forward to seeing you. Thank you guys on Instagram, thank you on Facebook, and also thank you on YouTube and on Zoom. I look forward to seeing you next Monday, same time, 5 p.m. It doesn't change. God have a good night rest, and God bless.